The average employee has 7.8 suicidal thoughts per day, 18 panic attacks a year, and wonders once an hour, every hour, why this is happening to them.
48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking. Growl! Growl! 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Well, we love to start a show with a laugh. It's 48 minutes dogs barking. My name's Jason. This is Brian.
You ever feel like you're living in history?
Yeah, the shitty parts.
We really are living in the find out part of history.
Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented amounts of finding out in our day to day.
I wish it would stop. Honestly,
Yeah.
gonna be honest. The fire hose of news and stuff.
But this is not really 2017 felt.
I know. It feels like it's gotten worse though. I just feel like it's faster and faster. It could just be that I'm paying more attention. Entirely possible.
I think it's because you kind of know what's already coming.
Yeah.
You kind of know the tone and the beat of the bullshit.
It's a song you've heard before.
Yeah.
But
now it's worse.
It's the
somehow.
sequel to a movie that you know by heart. Yeah, you're you're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, it's bad times, Daddy.
Bad times, Daddy. Yeah. So this week we're kind of breaking format because there's just so much shit to talk about, and we're gonna be loudmouths and give our opinions on it on an episode I'm tentatively titling "Oops, All Scams."
Yeah, it's crime season, baby. I think is the term that is going around. It's not we're no longer in the cool zone.
No, I wish we were in the cool zone.
We're in crime season.
Look, we were in the cool zone for like a month when Luigi Mangione was still at large. But no, we're no longer in the cool zone. We were in the cool zone for a couple months, so when Chops was happening in Portland and stuff, but no longer.
You mean Chaz?
Was it Chaz? I thought it was Chop.
It was in Seattle.
The Chaz in Seattle. You're right. I was mistaken. Probably because it feels like it was a million years ago.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I still remember during the early days of the pandemic, my born-again Christian former hair metal guitarist coworker banging on his desk in his office about how the Bolsheviks and the government won't let me go to the gym.
He needs his gym time, folks.
And that was 5 years ago.
I'm trying to center myself because I
want
want
to
to
hear there's a new COVID?
Several, in fact. And the old one's still around. Classic style is still here.
You can get it's
it's new Coke and classic
new Coke Classic. It's a little sweeter than the old COVID. I don't know if I like it.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Don't really. Feels like you're going to a Subway and then they ask you, do you want toasted? And you're like, the fuck? That's a quiz. Why you do a Quiznos shit? Because you ain't gonna do as good.
No.
When's the last time you've been to a Quiznos?
Oh, Jesus. A decade at least.
There is one in Edwardsville.
Okay.
It's not too far from where I live. I can't think of the last time I ate at Quiznos. There's one in North County where I live that was owned by an Asian family. It was way too big for the amount of business they were doing, which was none. And now it's a really bad Mexican restaurant. But like all things in North County, once it eventually, it's some part of its life cycle, it becomes a Mexican restaurant.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It's like carcinization. Eventually, it's going to become it's Mexican restaurantization. It's just all things revert to Mexican restaurant, yes.
So I was like, I have not ate at Quiznos in forever. And she was like, well, let's fucking do it. I got a traditional. I forgot what she got. There was just like a wave of sadness. Because it wasn't like going up to Chicago.
Yeah.
And seeing like, oh, they still make All Sport.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, there's still places you can get this. Okay, I'll get fucking Lime All Sport because, it's like, the nostalgia.
Sure.
Something weird. You see something, you go to a party, like, oh, you can still get this here?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
You still get Vest Pineapple?
Yeah. It's pink. I felt while we were eating that the Iraq War was still going on.
You were transported.
I felt like I was in that really weird Justin Timberlake movie where he's singing the Killer's song while drinking a Bud Light.
Oh, Southland Tales.
I felt like I was in Southland Tales. Like, I was like, this feels like the end of a certain era of American imperialism. I'm trying to explain this to this very sweet woman that I'm dating, and she's just like, okay.
You're wondering, like, probably in the back of your head, like, is this going well? What am I doing?
I was just like, yeah, this felt weird. This felt like going to house parties where people are making drinks that aren't real. It's like, yeah, I'm going to put root beer schnapps in ginger ale because it's the only thing we have, you know. And you're like, well, I want to get drunk tonight because I'm 19 and life sucks because the Iraq War is going on. And there's a goddamn monkey in the White House. He's saying, who said bananas?
Yeah. I don't even like oil. Yeah. You power up comics. I don't even like oil. And then later in the White House wearing a white t-shirt that just says I love oil. That's the whole joke.
The world's falling apart. Everything is happening all at once. Douglas Rushkoff would say that we are experiencing present shock, which is to say that the narrative is changing so quickly. The conversation, the monoculture, what little is left, is rapidly evolving. That it feels like once you get adjusted to one situation or set of variables in a certain configuration, the rug gets pulled out from under you.
Yeah, and it's like daily.
But this is how Trump's first go around the White House felt, at least the first 6 months to me, where it just felt like, pretty much everything up until Charlottesville felt like every day was just like another fucking kick in the nuts or something else to sonically abuse you. And then I think you just kind of become numb to it.
You have to, I guess.
I mean, that's what they're kind of relying on. I mean, that's half of the stuff we're talking about. It feels like it's designed to wear us down, to make us more passive, or just so exhausted that we just can't put any resistance.
I'm experiencing that same exhaustion, just like, oh God, what is happening? Because our first topic, I love the response to what's happening. So everyone knows that there is a bit of a run on eggs, as it were. Prices are going up because they had to cull the flocks because of bird flu, and which is going to continue to go on unchecked, and then it's going to jump from birds to humans, which it's already starting to do in certain places.
Yeah.
The people in New York, only city in the world, they have a solution. And the solution is the same as it was when you couldn't afford a whole pack of cigarettes. That's right, folks. According to the New York Post, the headline, "Can't Shell It Out, NYC Bodegas Selling Loosie Eggs as Bird Flu Causes Prices of Cartons to Skyrocket." The first graph, they're taking a crack at making eggs affordable. New York City bodegas are selling Loosie-style eggs a la notorious single cigarettes as bird flu shortages send the prices of cartons skyrocketing, the Post has learned. Fernando Rodriguez, 62, owner of Pamela's Green in the Bronx, said many of his customers simply cannot shell out the $10.99 for a full carton of the beloved breakfast food. Quote, "These people don't have enough money to buy a dozen eggs, so I have to sell them separately. When I saw how high the price of eggs has become, we decided to break it down into small bags." Here he is pictured with some of these bags, and it's just a little baggie, twist-tied.
3-4 eggs in a bag. And I don't know if it's the projector here, but the person who edited this photo could have at least fucking did the white balance correctly. Look at that. Look at those eggs on the table.
Blown out. Yeah,
absolutely fucking blown out.
You can't tell
You can fix
shit.
that. You can fix that in Lightroom. Listen, if you're writing for the New York Post, or taking photos for New York Post, you got nothing but time. Don't tell me you were too busy to get the eggs looking right.
Here's my thing. I think they had to crank the brightness because it's probably dark as shit in there. My favorite little detail that has gone unremarked is the Cafe Bustelo packets behind him. There's both the cans and the bricks. But yes, it says here he would typically sell a dozen large eggs for $2.49. He now offers 3 large grade A eggs in a plastic bag for $2.99. So if you need exactly 3 eggs for a recipe,
For when you just need a few eggs.
Rodriguez, who hails from the Dominican Republic, said he hatched the plan after seeing how huevos are hawked in his homeland. "We used to sell single eggs in the Dominican Republic," he said. "I know how difficult it is for families to afford eggs and milk." Fernando Mateo, A spokesman for the United Bodegas of America is quoted as saying, "It's not a choice, it's a necessity. We know our customers, we know their struggles. While slinging loose cigarettes is illegal, selling individual eggs may be in more of a legal gray area," industry sources said. The egg industry was contacted about this story, so that's fun. It does say that bodega owners could still run afoul of the law because New York State requires eggs to be sold in packages labeled with grade, count, and size. On Wednesday, some omelet-loving shoppers said they initially thought the bags of 3 were a joke. No exaggerating.
Boy, they're really
Hoo-wee.
face-fucking these puns. These puns are far from excellent.
No. And so that led me to a couple of Blue Sky users who have started a simple 3-word phrase to describe the situation, and it is simply Trump take egg. And I love the simplicity of that. It's got a yes we can ring to it. Trump take egg. It's grammatically incorrect, but Trump take egg. Where did it start? Well, this article written by Joe Bergowitz at Fast Company tries to explain it. One of the first major political memes to emerge on Blue Sky in the Trump 2.0 era, Trump take egg, is a pithy, grammatically fraught way to assign ownership over a leading economic hardship. It can be found accompanying photos of empty store shelves, high prices, and signage about egg rationing, the kind of photos that haunted Biden's entire inflation-ravaged presidency. The idea for the meme hatched with daytime Emmy-winning editor for TV and film Michael Tay Sweeney, who made the first recorded Trump take egg post February 4th. Sweeney got inspiration not online, but out in the wild, where he witnessed firsthand the sweeping panic over rising egg prices. He was quoted here as saying, "Every single cart at the Costco, besides mine, already had 2 cartons of 60 eggs in it, which is the most you're allowed to buy in one trip," he recalls. "I beelined to the dairy section and was lucky to get some of the last eggs available that day. Other guys were pulling out their phones to take pictures of the empty egg case. It felt like it was all anyone wanted to talk about. Although it may scan as goofy, Trump take egg is an organic free-range rallying cry." Now, see, that's how you do the pun. That's how you do the pun.
It's a couple levels deeper than shell or egg or
running afoul.
a new modern yoke lore, like whatever.
See, we're doing the thing. But yes, the Trump take egg that has evolved into things like Trump caused traffic because he wanted to end the traffic congestion program in New York. Other things like Trump crash plane has also been bandied about by the same folks. And so at least we got a few good jokes in, but yeah, eggs are a problem.
I haven't had to buy eggs for a minute. That's usually not...
You don't cook with eggs a lot?
I don't. I mean, lots of my own devices, yeah. I actually like a good egg sandwich.
Yeah.
Until my previous job where I was having to get up at 3:30 in the morning. Didn't really have time for eggs. So I didn't fuck with eggs then. And now, I mean, like if I want protein, I've got waffles or oats or something. There's other protein-rich foods.
Yeah, no question. But see, I bake, right? So need a lot of eggs for baking.
What was last time you bought eggs and how much were they?
Bought eggs Thursday because we were doing stuff for the kid's birthday. We were making cakes. I needed a bunch of eggs. And it was $7.50 at Aldi.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was not great. And that was a dozen large, just regular egg order. I don't get the extra large eggs because fuck that. It's just extra whites. You don't really get any, It's not like the yolks are bigger.
Yeah.
And for me, the yolk's the part I want.
That's where all the good shit's at.
Well, yeah. I'll use it as a binder in like a meatloaf. Got to have that. Or
absolutely.
It keeps my burgers together.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of good reason to want to have eggs around.
And actually, we made stuffing the other night, and egg is a great binder for a kind of a stuffing to give it a nice little.
Not a big stuffing guy, but
no?
I trust your stuffing.
Yeah. Because we do the White Castle stuffing. So.
Oh yeah,
once you start doing it that way, there's no other way. You do White Castle stuffing, and it's like, this is the only way. I can't go back. I can't just go back to this regular dry ass stuffing. I gotta have the one with the little burger in it.
Stuffing kind of sucks. It might be low key, depending on your family. It might be the worst Thanksgiving food.
I gotta give that to green beans.
Oh, fuck you.
Come on.
You don't like a good green bean casserole?
It's not that I don't like a good green bean casserole. It's that a good green bean casserole is hard to find.
See, I'm blessed. I come from a family where we have multiple individuals that can make a fantastic green bean casserole. And I'm lucky that on my dad's side, there's a couple individuals that can make a very respectable stuffing. My mom's side, on the other hand, not their strong suit. Now, if you want a good turkey,
Yeah.
you want a good ham,
Yeah.
both sides of my family are very competent in that realm.
Well, lucky duck.
Yes.
I've tried multiple times and just fucked it up. So
Yeah.
I've just kind of like, you know what? This isn't for me, clearly. I'll take the cauliflower with the peas and for whatever reason, green bean has not hit. Even with the little fried crunchy onions on top. I'll just eat the fried crunchy onions off the top and just not fuck with the green beans. If it's not done well, you know what I mean?
Right,
like you
right.
got to take that first bite and go, nope. Because you know right away. You know right away when the green beans are
I
bad.
mean, my dad, he'll do the fried onions or he'll do caramelized onions. Slow and low.
For sure. If you got the time and the inclination, absolutely.
Yeah.
Please do. But yeah, I've decided at a certain point, like, you know what? I'm good. I don't even bother with it anymore. Because for me, it's mashed potatoes, it's stuffing, it's the turkey itself, the cranberry, sweet potatoes if you got them. Some people don't do them.
I fuck with sweet
I do too. Some people don't make them. So I'm just like, okay, well, if you don't have them, then fine. And then, yeah, if you got a salad, sure. But I mean, other than that, maybe a roll if it's a sourdough or anything but French rolls. Just bleh. So plain.
Well,
Jane.
you know what they're not going to be telling us this Thanksgiving.
What's that, Brian?
Well, Trump's not going to be like, oh, your Thanksgiving dinner is on average for the average American, $5 or whatever bullshit Biden was trying to do. Like, look how materially worse your lives are.
Yeah.
But maybe Thanksgiving will be $5 cheaper.
Yeah, you saved like $2 on the raw ingredients for the
Thanks,
whole
dude.
dinner.
I'd like to have a future worth living.
Healthcare, please.
Please, J-Man. We will not be having any cranberry sauce this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, draw that cranberry out.
Cranberry sauce this Thanksgiving?
I don't know, Neil. Who?
Donald Trump.
What?
Oh, wait. Fuck, did I fuck it up? Did I fuck up delivery?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. And you know why?
Why is that, Neil?
Because he'll be dead. Oh.
Well, speaking of people who should I'm going to have to do a lot of editing on this episode. The Doge Boys.
Those gosh darn Doge Boys. Broccoli headed.
The fucking
Groyper teens.
Groyper teens.
Groyper teens a symbol.
Groyper teen hunger force.
Groyper teen hunger.
This, according to 404 Media, the lovely Jason Kobler over there writing this. Anyone?
I'm sorry. This thinking Groyper teen hunger force is just the Master Shake video with the racist
Mark Levin.
Fee him! Fuck him! See if I care! Blacks? Jewish people take care of other Jewish people.
Because once you hear it, you can't stop. I will ruin this house with my anger! So, yes, the Groyper Teen Hunger Force fucking up royally. The headline, anyone can push updates to the Doge.gov website. That's right. Here, a screenshot of the website. Meet the U.S. government, right? A couple of subheads, and then under small independent agencies, all caps, these, quote, experts left their database open, signed Roro.
I don't know if you noticed there in the screenshot in the upper left.
Huh.
Under the Department of Government Efficiency, the people voted for major reform.
Yeah, that's a direct quote, isn't it?
This is a direct quote. Fuck. I thought it was like maybe a little bit sarcastic.
Oh no, that's a direct quote from Musk in the White House, where he's or Trump sitting in the cuck chair, and and Elon is like, yeah, so the people voted for a major reform.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the DOGE.gov website that was spun up to track the cuts to the federal government is insecure and pulls from a database that can be edited by anyone, according to two separate people who found the vulnerability and shared it with 404 Media. One coder added at least 2 database entries that are visible on the website that say, quote, "This is a joke of a .gov website." That's been removed. And, these experts left their database open. Row. And just truly, truly ridiculous. The database can be written to and from by third parties, which is extremely insecure, the very opposite of the thing that you wanted to happen.
Yeah. It's not even like a real government division.
Not according to this executive order, establishing and implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency. So according to this executive order, it establishes the department to implement the President's DOGE agenda. So, yeah, it is an agency.
In quotes.
In quotes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, our shadow president and his beautiful boys.
Yeah, Grima Wormtongue in the fucking White House, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all run by, like we said, Groyper Teen Hunger Force. Well, Muskwatch, a pro-click, by the way, muskwatch.com, tones down the fire hose of shit and consolidates a lot of this stuff. So kudos to Caleb Karma for doing a lot of this work, because it's a lot of writing. If you remember, I don't know if we talked about this guy, Edward Corstine, excuse me. Did we talk about him?
Is he the one that got outed for the racist Twitter account and resigned, and then Elon brought him back? Or is that another fucking fail son?
This is another fail son. This is the 19-year-old.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know who you're talking about, and that was a different guy, different.
Boy, it's really hard to keep track of all of these shitheads.
So yes, he is a former intern at Musk's brain-computer interface company Neuralink. Corstine was named senior advisor to the State Department's Bureau of Diplomatic Technology on Monday. He is also listed as an expert at the OPM, that's the Office of Personnel Management. That's HR for the government. In early 2021, he ran an image-sharing website called Tesla.sexy. He said it would be focusing on confidentiality of its users. "Why are we the sexiest?" It's quoted as saying, "Privacy. When you use Tesla.sexy, all your images are encrypted. We don't log IP addresses, device agents, or anything else," the site's website stated in March of 2021, according to the Wayback Machine. "If you like features like we do, you'll love Tesla.sexy. Fake links, lots of cool domains and effects to be put on your images for ultimate shitposting." He updated the website saying it offered users image hosting with a touch of insanity. Now, this is the part where I go, what the shit? An analysis of URL traffic to Tesla.sexy between April 2021 and September of 2021 shows that numerous URLs redirected to the site, including children-sex.party, child-porn.store, kkk-is-cool.club, nword.rentals, nword-sex.download, owns-a-slave.shop, raping-women.club, ketamine-rape.date, rape.business, and rapes-woe.men.
I would like to know about the ketamine rape date, if possible. It seems very epic and bacon.
Right. Well, December of 2021, he registered it as an LLC in Connecticut. It is unclear whether Corstine, who has gone by Rivage, Big Balls, and Joey Crafter, had used or created any of those URLs, but you know, it's one of those things. Now, Krebs on Security did its own little digging and found that he was a member of the COM. Are you familiar with these insane people?
I am not, but go ahead.
The COM As reported again in 404 Media in previous months, there was a great article, really worth reading. Subscribe there if you can. But the COM is essentially a loose affiliate of insane cyber criminals linked to extortion, money laundering, this here AI bots for Russian Discord servers, DDoS attacks. The COM, bad folks. And they're all doing it for the lulz and occasionally for crypto bucks. So 2022, he interned at a security company that hired former cyber criminals to protect customers from denial of service attacks, also known as being DDoSed. During the same year, a Telegram handle associated with Coruscant sought to hire someone to commit a DDoS attack in a COM chat room that exists for the sale and solicitation of cyber crimes. However, according to Bloomberg, his tenure at Path was cut short after he was accused of leaking proprietary information to a competing platform. After he was let go, he said on Discord he could destroy Path's servers if he wished to, quote, I had access to every single machine. This was 3 years ago. Last year, a Discord account tied to Coruscant wrote that when he had moved from the COM underworld, saying there was not a lot of money to be made, he began to work for Neuralink later that year. As for his presence on Twitter, formerly, or whatever the fuck it's called, Muskwatch found that he interacted at least once with prominent eugenicist and white supremacist Joseph Brodsky. Other young men Musk has recruited to staff the DOGE service include Marco Ellis. That was the one that resigned. Yeah, Marco Ellis was the one. Wall Street Journal found his social media account that posted racist shit about eugenics and all that. He rehired him because J.D. Vance said to.
Cool.
Gavin Kilger, a DOGE member who serves as special advisor to the OPM and a domain administrator at the CFPB, that's the Office of Professional Management and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, shared content posted by Nick Fuentes, known fucking Nazi.
Yeah, wow, what the fuck?
This is why I say Muskwatch is a must-click, by the way.
And remember, at this point in Biden's presidency, not saying that Biden's presidency was anything to write home about, because it sure fucking wasn't.
Yeah, no.
But remember, at this point, the scandal was some weird guy in his bureaucracy that stole some luggage.
Oh yeah, well,
I know some fucking neocon motherfuckers that still fucking bang that drum, like that was.
And they share her picture, and it's all a huge thing. Like, oh, look at these freaks in the Biden administration. I
don't know, man. I think these dudes probably.
I'll take that freak over these fuckers.
Yeah.
Christ Almighty. Hey, online Nazis, come be in the government. Cool clock, online Nazis. Come take it to the White House.
Cool Groyper meme. Want to bring it to the White House?
It's so fucking weird, dude. It's so fucking weird. I can't stand these little shits. And I know half of that is because I'm like 20 years older than them and know better about OPSEC and shit. Why are you publicly posting in Discord about wiping out your previous employer's channels, you fucking idiot?
You know, I kind of worked with guys that remind me of these Doge kids a couple jobs ago. You know, this is before, it's like 2019. We had some kids helping us out from the summer. The family I worked for was a little bit blue blood as far as St. Louis families go. And so all the kids that helped us out for the summer were friends of the family's kids.
Yes.
And so they all went to very expensive private schools and, you know, went to Duke and stuff. And they all had terrible opinions on shit. And I would like be working with them and they would say some stuff. And I'm like, you know, you don't have to think how your dad thinks. And they'd be like, what? And I was like, totally like the monk comes to the Roshi and complains about, you know, I've been meditating here for so long and I haven't learned shit. And the fucking Roshi looks at him and goes, but did you clean your bowl? And all of a sudden the monk becomes enlightened. Like, you don't have to think, you don't have to agree with your dad, bro. Like, the further you get away from whatever your parents think, generally is the better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Regardless of whatever your parents think,
right,
good or bad. Go get some distance between how you view the world from how they view the world.
Become your own person, I think, is really the goal there.
And these kids would tell me how they thought Elon Musk was like really cool. And I'm like, he's not. Mm-hmm. He's a dipshit. He's making these promises that are never going to come true. And then they try to tell me, like, but what about Andrew Yang? I'm like,
oh,
come
math
on,
gang?
guys.
Yeah, we're really doing this? We're still
really
on this?
doing this? Oh, yeah. There was a salesman that came out one time when I was lecturing them about Andrew Yang, and he fucking spun on his heel right back into the building. He was like, nope.
That's how you know. How you know your ideas are intellectually full of shit is that if even the mildest criticism of them makes you turn around and walk away.
No, he was more like, oh shit, Brian's going.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like he was a big, he was Yang Gang
that
for
guy.
life.
No, that guy's politics I always felt were pretty much just like left of center, like pretty
Which is
mild.
very, very, very common, and I'm fine with that as long as they're fucking allies and not be like, hey, Elon's gay actually, and that's funny. Google.
Some horse apples ass shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Thank you for picking up on it. Yes, a gulp, gulp, and a Texas. Yeah, it just it felt real bad.
Feels bad.
Well, you know what else must feel bad? To be one of Elon Musk's baby mamas.
I was going to say be one of his children.
Well, that's true, too. But a lot of them are not quite at the age of reason yet. But yeah, the younger ones.
The human shield.
Yeah, the human shield X. Yeah, boy. Whew, boy. So more Elon Musk baby mama drama hit us this week, and it was a fucking fire hose, too. It all started.
How do you even parse this?
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, one of my favorite newsletters is Cartoons Hate Her, because she does a great series called Many Such Takes, where she boils down a lot of these internet dramas into a easily digestible fashion. Now, the problem with Many Such Takes is it is weekly, and so this is from the 16th, which was a week ago. But this at least gives us a good place to start. So, under the headline, Elon's new baby, Cartoons Hate Her, starts, this one has hit the news by now, but first hit on Twitter. Where else but the Everything app? She says sarcastically. If Elon Musk likes anything, it's fathering more children out of wedlock than a Maury contestant. And his 13th child has apparently been born in secret to conservative social media influencer Ashley St. Clair, who has confirmed the rumor. The post here, 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed because of the kid's safety, yada, yada, yada. It's clear that, this is going to break, so I'm going to get out ahead of it. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal, safe environment, and so forth. Now, Milo Yiannopoulos jumps in.
Oh, the dangerous
I wish he was the running That's all I'm saying.
Milo!
Walking, talking stereotypes. Milo suggested St. Clair had been plotting to have Musk's baby for at least 5 years. And he's posting a photo of someone else's cell phone with her tweets on it. What a fucking weirdo, right?
Yeah.
Here it is. Ashley St. Clair plotted for half a decade. Here it is, a post from May 2020. I need to get Elon Musk's attention for a marriage proposal to Greg Price. Greg Price responding, he's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely to work out. Ashley St. Clair responding, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. Cry laughing emoji. So yes, dating back to 2023, there was evidence of the pair flirting on the timeline using the Doge meme, of course. Elon Musk posting, speaking personally, I obviously prefer the pull-in method. Her responding with the go to horny jail. This was uncovered, of course, by Armand Domaluski saying there were signs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lily Gaddis, the trad wife influencer who said the N-word, she was all, really like, oh, yeah, you broke N-words, that lady. Tried to get attention by posting that she isn't Jewish. Just posting a picture of herself and then just saying Aryan, by the way.
Amazing.
Unrelated, completely unrelated.
On Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she did post it on Valentine's Day. Why no one want me? I'm Aryan. Come on.
Who want me?
Anyway, when something like this happens, Cartoons Hate Her continues, there are a million tweets people will dig up to say this you. And of course, it's very, very funny. This here, August of 2023, Ashley St. Clair posting Vivek Ramaswamy, just called out the system for financially incentivizing single motherhood, 3 fire emojis. Evan Loves Worf quote tweeting that and saying, literally the most financially incentivized single mother in history. Sarah St. Ange at she_brings_joy. Having sex with someone who already has multiple children by multiple women and has no intention of marrying you and actually parenting your child and leading you as a husband is neither conservative or right-wing. Now, an interesting wrinkle to this was someone did uncover Ashley St. Clair posting this right when the profit sharing came out in September of last year. Her creator earnings, she got 10 grand. And she posted, X just significantly increased creator payouts by paying based on engagement from verified/premium users instead of ads and replies. Post on X and get paid. Some folks have predicted that the next baby mama will be Tiffany Fong because she received a payment of $21,000 in November of last year. So,
yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling that Elon Musk has some sort of weird phobia of Asian women, despite being a fucking weed lord.
Well, the good thing is that most of his children are IVF babies, so he won't have to actually do the deed.
Right, yeah. He's just putting that shit into a cup and baby get the turkey baster.
Sending it out.
Yeah, well, apparently he's got a fucked up dick.
Yes, there is a bit later on in this where they talk about his botched penis implant. But
yeah. They made my penis... irregular.
Too big. They made it too large for women to enjoy.
I said I wanted to look like Girthmaster. Now I look like one of those guys that puts synthol in their penis. And
he might as well at this point. He's not using it for anything good. Yeah.
Oh, God. He's got a synthol.
Yeah.
He's got just like a weird, smooth orb.
Of course, Drill had to jump in. At Drill, I need a 52-year-old man with $800 billion to impregnate my wife. I am worried our offspring won't be sufficiently feeble and or annoying. Oh, boy. But it didn't end there, folks.
Yeah. Well, another crazy thing is that apparently on this child's birth certificate,
correct,
there's not even a father listed.
Correct.
And Elon Musk apparently in a text that Ashley Sinclair leaked was that like, well, it's a security thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because he mentioned how many death threats he gets.
Yeah, only the paranoid survive.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember the exact phrase, but yeah, just...
Oh, it just fucking keeps going.
So this, according to Rolling Stone, in petitions filed Friday, it was this previous weekend, we're recording this on a Sunday, she asks a court, she's been suing, basically, 2 petitions to the New York Supreme Court over the paternity and custody. She asked the court to establish Musk as the father, and then to obtain sole custody. Our good friends Taylor Lorids over there at User Mag first reported that. Good scoop on them. According to the petition, St. Clair claims they began their romantic relationship of May 2023 and had sexual intercourse, quote, in various locations in January 2024. Okay, so the IVF baby thing is up in the air. Ashley claims they did the deed. So, during which time our child was conceived. According to the document, Musk has, quote, acknowledged parentage of the child in various written correspondences. The petition cites purported texts, along with a photo of Musk holding the child. One alleged text exchange from November of 2024 reads, I want to knock you up again. And another cited in the petition of February of this year reads, well, we do have a legion of kids to make. In the second petition, she seeks full custody, claiming by choice Musk, quote, was not present for the birth of our child, has had no more than 3 in-person visits with our child, and has not expressed an interest in having custody of our child. Her attorneys wrote the firm has been dealing with his lawyer, Alyssa Rauer from Rauer LLC, in an attempt to resolve this matter privately. His representatives have been non-responsive to resolve the issues, and Musk has indicated he no longer wishes to resolve the issues amicably.
Well, he's too busy ruining the country, so there's not like there's going to be a court system to fix this.
That's fair. But the baby mama drama doesn't end there, buddy. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Elongated mollusk. You know what? I fucking hate that, actually. I don't know why I started
You used to
saying
fucking
that
love
shit.
that. It used to be your fucking monkey cheese, man. When you would say it, I could feel like my skin crawling. And now I'm glad you feel about how I feel about it.
Yeah. As soon as it left my mouth, I went, ugh. It's like smoke in my nose. I'm holier than thou, okay? But, The Mirror out of the UK. Katie Francis writing, Grimes publicly begs Elon Musk to help with child's medical crisis, but tweets disappear. Musician Grimes accused Musk of putting one of their children at risk of a lifelong impairment on Thursday, and fans were concerned after her posts disappeared. The post in question, please respond about our child's medical crisis. I am sorry to do this publicly, but it is no longer acceptable to ignore this situation. This requires immediate attention. If you don't want to talk to me, can you please designate or hire someone who can so that we can move forward on solving this? This is urgent, Elon. Grimes claims she was shadow banned after this. Fans noticed that her tweet had disappeared and accused Musk of deleting them so he wouldn't seem like a deadbeat dad, but Grimes explained she thought she'd been shadow banned. I'm deleting these posts now because if they're being shadow banned and not eliciting a response at all, it's a media circus at the expense of the kids. X being foisted around the White House was, I guess, the impetus for all this to kind of come to a head publicly.
Yeah, apparently she didn't even know that this was going on. So the narrative then changes, like, how bad are you supposed to feel for Grimes?
Yeah.
There are some people who think, oh, well, this is the only time I've ever had empathy for her.
Mm-hmm.
She certainly has made her bed on a lot of stuff. But
In a number of ways, in a number of places, yeah.
I saw someone make an argument that Grimes thought that she was on the gravy train, that she was going to be like the Empress of Mars.
Yes.
And was going to have all of his, his Groyper babies. There's tweets and stuff. The mission, which is definitely some would argue code talk for some eugenics stuff.
Oh, it's not even coded. It's straight up.
Oh, okay.
It's straight up eugenics.
So shit. It's kind of like one of those no pay for bed warmers of fascists or dictators or however the quote goes.
Yeah, the principle's the same. Yeah, I
feel probably more bad for the kids.
Oh, for sure. She knew sort of, kind of, what she was getting into, to a degree, at least. The kids, innocent bystanders in all this. I mean,
sure.
X being paraded around in the fucking White House, and like...
Him keeping the kids from her is, what would you expect? He has all the power, and she also, I guess, is on some level probably financially dependent on him. But there's been stuff that's come out, like, her pleading to him, like, can I have custody of the kids because my mom's, in palliative, end of life healthcare, and she's never even seen like one of them.
Wow.
Can you fulfill this one simple request? And I get the feeling that it probably went on deaf ears.
I would imagine, just based on his previous responses to fucking everything involving these legion of
knew
children.
Someone whose ex-husband worked at the Tesla factory in Reno, and they were telling me stories about how Musk acted while he was there through what their ex-husband would say. It just sounded like just insane. Firing entire teams because someone looked at him weird in a hallway, or someone made eye contact with him, like, fire his whole team. Or people like having legitimate OSHA concerns getting canned. And
oh yeah, well, this is coming back around because now we're getting these pieces of information from the OPM, again, Office of Personnel Management. People in federal agencies are getting these emails saying, provide a list of 5 bullet points about what you did last week and CC your supervisor. And multiple departments, including the fucking FBI, have been told, you know what? No, don't do that, actually.
That's crazy.
Prove what you did last week. That's a bad manager. As a manager, someone who manages people, that's a shitty way to expect people to behave.
You should fucking know what your guys are doing.
Exactly.
The second you start coming at your subordinates in bad faith, that's why I left my job a couple weeks, because I came in and I worked hard and I took care of my team, but the leadership above me acted like I was sitting around fucking playing with my PUD.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're the one that sits behind the desk. I'm the one that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I got my ear to the streets.
That is the epitome of bad management. And he's trying to apply that same standard to the federal government. It's like, no, brother.
But first of all, if you apply that same standard to the federal, there ain't going to be nobody working in the government. As someone who has worked for the VA,
Right.
I worked with a handful of people where it was like, yo, you've been here for how many years? 30 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit. You don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah. It's truly tragic.
You just stroll in wearing your pleated slacks, sit at your desk, fuck around for 8 hours, and you clock out like it's a good day's work. God damn, you got it figured out.
I'm not saying he's not wrong that people
Sure,
do
but
that.
I mean,
The people do that, but that's not.
you can't
That's
go
not
at every
your-
person that works in the federal government, because I mean you're basically closing down. He's gonna be basically closing down all of our federal lands, our parks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be no one managing our forests and in the high risk areas for fires and stuff like that.
Wastewater management.
There's all kinds of things that people do as a federal employee that they're not luxurious, but it's honest work and it's important work.
Yeah, and they're not labor intensive. You can do some of these jobs from home.
Yeah.
The anti-work from home thing, I think, is leading a lot of this because Amazon's doing it. A lot of the bigs are doing this. They're pushing RTO. They're pushing return to office. And it's going to backfire in a big way when you're talking about feds. I know several feds that both you and I know mutually, but also several that I know in my family that are work from home. And they're like, well, I won't have a job then because this is the only way that works for my life. I do my work 8 hours a day. I do the job. But this doesn't work.
I knew someone who was a federal employee that worked from home during the pandemic. And they found out how quickly they could get their work done in a day.
Sure.
How much better they could do their work and how much quicker they could do it without all the bullshit of having to be around other people that work for the government.
Yes.
I have
absolutely.
a friend that like basically like worked like 2 hours a day and spent the rest of it with their shit on mouse jiggler, fucking around on their Switch, or like mostly reading books and like hanging out. And they're like, yeah, I'm able to get further on my projects in less time. My turn, like, I'm just a better employee, and I'm having to work less.
Yes. Because that is what happens when you remove all the friction from getting shit done.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Two
All
more
right.
news pieces. This is a very long episode. I'm going to do my best to make it snappy and try to get us through. But yeah, it is definitely oops all scams this week. Speaking of Elon Musk, I have to address the absolute insanity that was CPAC.
So many things. The third term shit. There's so many. I mean, CPAC is always a fucking fever dream.
Yes.
But this year, absolutely. And also, to keep in mind when we're talking about what we're going to discuss here, all of the shit with Ashley St. Clair and Grimes was also going on.
At the same time. That's correct.
Yes.
Sarah Zhang, much love to you writing for The Verge here. Elon Musk spoke at CPAC on Thursday, giving a strange and often articulate on-stage interview to Newsmax presenter Rob Schmidt. Rob Schmidt, by the way, if you don't know, is a huge piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just look him up. He's, oh boy. So Schmidt was all smiles and enthusiasm and managed to steer Musk through the half hour, never pausing to look back on the obvious logical inconsistencies, various falsehoods, and mathematical errors that littered the interview. He did a decent job of keeping the entire time slot from devolving into internet memes, although he couldn't stop Musk from loudly pronouncing, quote, "I am become meme." Still, the CPAC crowd ate it up. And then...
Have you seen the clip of this?
Yes. Was it the chainsaw bit where he says, "I am become meme"? I can't remember.
No, he's like sitting in a chair, and he like says, "I am become meme," and he like nervously looks around for like approval. Is such fucking kid picked last for dodgeball.
That is
the
worse than I remember.
I am rotating a 3D doohickey in my mind right now.
I'm fabricating it in the 3D printer in the back of my brain. Yes.
You know what M asked me over dinner a couple nights ago. She asked me, like, we're discussing things. She's like, how do you even fix this? And I said that you can't really vote your way out of this because the Democrats made sure of that. And the Republicans are going to put a bow on that, seems like.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
And we're getting into a situation where things are becoming so dire that the only way to reverse this trend is to basically stop the hearts of a couple individuals from beating.
The only good Nazi is a dead Nazi?
Yeah.
And that is all I am going to say on that. Just someone, I can't remember where, I was trying to find it, someone on a Discord server, because I will just post episode links to on Discord places where I hang out. Someone was talking about our last episode where we talked about Elon, and he said, I don't know how you keep from screaming when the two of you are talking about this. Now you understand this. This is now an hour into this episode. And I said, well, I edit out a lot of sighs of frustration, but I also edit out a lot of death threats. I think
They do be in there.
They're in there, but I edit most of them out. I'm going to be brave and say it, okay? I think there's no reasoning with some of these people. The only reason that they will understand is violence. And that is the end of this. That's it.
The only solution to the problems that certain individuals are presenting to America, to the world, is for them to no longer exist. And however that happens, it's between them and God. But it can't
generally
come quick enough.
speaking, it is going to be an act of violence. That is how it is going to happen. Now, obviously, I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it's you. But I'm saying that someone
out there is going to... they're going to 3D rotate that doohickey.
And they're going to say, you know what? Today's the day.
I mean...
and they will be right. Because any day that it ends with Y is the day.
The people that are making your life awful and trying to make the lives of people that you know and people that you love and care about, use the well-worn adage I've seen on social media for the last 5 or 6 years. All those people have names and they have addresses.
Correct.
Bernie Sanders, I'm not really interested in him going around talking about oligarchy. I'd be more interested in him showing people how to clean a pistol.
The time for talking about oligarchy was 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The time for talking about the rest of it is
talking
now.
About $15 an hour was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking $25 an hour is the new $10 an hour.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, really, to survive in this current hellscape that we live in. I'm not a violent person. You have to understand this. I am, in general, a pacifist. That applies to a lot of things. However, I'm going to beat a motherfucker's ass if he starts doing that Nazi shit around me.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Now, of course, I might not do too well. Nazi might beat the shit out of me, but at least I'll have done something.
You didn't stand by.
That's the one. Don't stand by.
Working in warehouses, I've definitely worked with some people that were...
Fash adjacent, if you will.
I hate to say I worked at a place where everyone was such an asshole that actually, as far as like my best coworker, as far as like helping me and helping me be a better employee, was a fucking boogaloo boy.
Yowza.
Oh boy,
Yowza.
That's bad when like the most reliable coworker I have shows me photos of him and his buddies like at the gun range wearing like their Hawaiian shirts, and I just have to be like, well, fuck, man, you seem to be like one of 5 people here that like me. This is weird. I'm
Shit.
trying to,
Yeah.
and he never like said anything like weird.
And that's how indoctrination happens.
Sure.
Right, because they seem reasonable, they seem like a good dude, and then they take you to a meeting, and then suddenly you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
I mean, but I like knew what his shit was about. Like I kind of told him like, oh,
I'm
you're
saying for someone who's not
Sure,
as
hip
clued
to it,
in as
yeah.
you, yeah.
I was able to put that distance.
Yeah.
For my own self-survival in that arrangement, but at the same time just being like, this is fucking weird, man. This is fucking crazy. The most like is a fucking, and he had like a fucking Boogaloo Boy flag, like instead of the thin blue line, the thin blue line,
Yeah.
it was like a Hawaiian shirt design
yeah.
on his truck. Man, it was the whole fucking deal. And again, that was the most reliable guy I worked with.
That's rough, brother. That is rough.
That is hard times, Daddy.
Hard times, Daddy. That's right.
Hard times.
I think we should bring Dusty Rhodes posting back. We gotta start
Hard
doing more
times,
Dusty Rhodes.
Daddy.
Hard times.
Again, this is how it was the first time around.
I don't know, man. I don't really feel like there was a green with worm tongue like Elon Musk, man. I feel like he's taken this shit to a whole different level.
Oh, well, you had Stephen Miller. You had Sebastian Gorka.
Gorka, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Chapo.
Mr. Chapo.
Mr. Chapo.
The Dragon of Budapest.
The Titan of the Danube.
James Adomian, man. I love that motherfucker. I swear. That one guy got the SNL gig and not Adomian, I will never know. But
I don't
know.
But James Adomian, great guy, super fucking funny. His Sebastian Gorka, his everything, just amazing.
It lives rent free. His Bernie actually lives rent free for me.
His Elon Musk is also really good.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Him being on Pod Damn America and talking about when you're filling out the CAPTCHA and you're looking for all of the stop signs, please do that really quick because that's real time. As for the Tesla
That's
autopilot.
how the full self-driving does, yeah. But
yeah,
right.
so
CPAC, insane.
Melini, who's going to make another appearance on this podcast.
Oh, Javier Millet, however the fuck you say his name.
Javier. He's going to make another appearance soon. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
we'll get there. This is going to be a long night, folks. Buckle the fuck in.
If you want to talk about a guy who has Dinosaur Jr. fan energy.
Oh, man. As a Dinosaur Jr. fan, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes. No, I'm saying.
T-Rex.
But I'm saying, as a Dinosaur Jr. fan, yes.
Also,
actually,
both, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of cut from the same cloth. Really.
Absolutely. But anyway, so he was presented at CPAC with a fucking chainsaw. This is, again, a quote, and this is Reuters. Okay, this is a news wire. This is an agency that does and reports news that is then disseminated elsewhere. Reuters, February 20th. Elon Musk, the billionaire tasked with slashing U.S. federal government spending, took to the stage at a conservative conference outside Washington on Thursday with a gift from Argentina's libertarian president Javier Milei, a chainsaw. Quote, "This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy," said Musk, holding the gleaming power tool aloft at CPAC in National Harbor, Maryland. The red metallic chainsaw given to Musk by Milei earlier in the day was engraved on its side with the Argentine leader's coarse Spanish slogan, which translates to, "Long live freedom, damn it."
Absolutely fucking insane.
Completely fucking baffling. But the video is even sillier. Here is the him getting it on stage. Now, he doesn't actually turn it on or rev it because it probably doesn't work.
What a fucking nerd.
Chainsaw! Now, holding it aloft like Leatherface, famously Leatherface, the good guy from that movie.
Leatherface, he saved all those kids. They need their car broke down. He got them back on their way to the hippie festival.
Only if you play the film in reverse, yeah.
Particularly the kid in the wheelchair.
Oh, boy.
Boy, I forgot. I haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a minute, but I forgot just how long the part of that movie is just the final girl and her brother in the wheelchair just running from one location to the other, back and forth.
Yeah, to the trailer, it's just...
It doesn't overstay its welcome, but you just kind of, after the second or third time, you're like,
okay,
there's
what?
a rhythm here.
Yeah.
I mean,
nobody's going to accuse Toby Hooper of being a hack, but there are times when you're like, okay, let him rest for a second. God damn, every 2 seconds they got to get out of there.
That movie goes.
Oh, it does. All right, so the last piece of news, a bit of levity. I know.
This is the levity.
I know. Discourse blog, the headline, "I am not so sure about this Uber for hired guns app." The subhead, "What could possibly go wrong?" Rafi Schwartz writing, "There was a time not too long ago when just about every get-rich-quick app idea came in one of two genres, Farmville but for blank, or Uber but for blank. These, it seemed, were the only paths available. Since then, the rhetorical shorthand Uber for blank has become enough of a cliche that it's largely fallen out of use among a Silicon Valley vampire class desperate to serve reheated leftovers of previous successes, while similarly desperate to avoid being labeled as sort of a failed tech visionary who dare serve reheated leftovers of a previous success, but largely doesn't mean completely, which is why we have this guy loudly trumpeting an Uber with guns idea. Twitter user Nikita Beer. Over the last few months, I've been advising at Book Protectors, a new app for ordering an on-demand security detail, or more simply, Uber with guns. They're debuting in Los Angeles and NYC at number 3 on the App Store, right below Uber, Airbnb. Protector, your go-to app for armed goons with guns. Now, this is a real app, by the way.
It is a real-ass app.
Let me see.
You can get a motorcade.
Yep, you can get a motorcade with multiple.
Select their uniforms. Do you want Tony Soprano in a polo, Tony Soprano in a sports blazer, or Tony Soprano going to a mob wife's funeral?
Actually, it's more like Dean Norris, based on the guys.
This is real sex gifts shit right here.
So, according to the actual App Store page, Protector is a revolutionary personal security app that enhances personal protection and makes private security available to the general public in an on-demand fashion. With a click of a button, Protector users can schedule veteran and former law enforcement private security personnel to serve as personal protection when needed. Now, currently, it does sit at a 4.9 out of 5 on the Apple App Store. One of the highest ratings here. Can't be too careful for a woman in 2025. The service is a godsend for women who have the funds and also want to go out without worrying about something truly bad happening. Here's SigInt Chris writing this review. Solid endeavor. Quality is the name of the game with these guys. At Moyella25, too expensive. I was super excited for this to come out, but prices are too high. I'll continue taking my chances with Uber Black.
Jesus. Woo! Yeah. So, obviously, the socials, people are having a field day with all that.
Of course.
Friend of the pod, Oswin Billy, a.k.a. Gay White Thug Who Learns Slow, tweeted yesterday, or a couple days ago, I should say, hired my protector to guard me from gang stalkers during my methed out goon sesh, to which I responded with, prospector hiring protectors to take him to and from the gas station for Voodoo Ranger tall boys and scratchers while he dry fires a pistol at people on the street.
Yeah. I can't wait to dial up the protector people and have them escort me so that I can, walk out of the
Go lose money at DraftKings at the casino.
I was going to say go to Schnucks and buy a dozen eggs so they keep them safe when I'm on my way home.
Yeah.
But just absolutely ridiculous. But I think Elon's going to need those guys pretty soon is all I'm saying. Based on the comments we made in this episode.
I feel like we're pretty mild on that.
Well, we mentioned Javier Milei. He comes up in this. That's right, folks. It's Crypto Scam of the Week.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
It's a 5 parts, and then we'll do our Breathman, we'll do the rest of the episode, but we're doing it. This is happening. So first and foremost, Argentinian President Javier Milei promotes a meme coin called Libra. This was according to Molly White. Web3 is going great. Love Molly. A tweet from Argentina's President Javier Milei, which promoted a meme coin called Libra, which he described as a, quote, private project that will be directed to encouraging the growth of the Argentine economy by funding small Argentine businesses and startups. The token, obviously, jumped up in price. Everybody's like, this is a great idea. Cool. Within hours, insiders began selling off their holdings. The token had been concentrated among insiders, which is a very classic type of deal, with around 82% of the token held in a small cluster of apparently insider addresses. The insiders cashed out around $107 million, crashing the token price by 95%. After the crash, he deleted his tweet. He claims that he was, quote, not aware of the details of the project, and after having become aware of it, I decided not to continue spreading the word, which is why I deleted the tweet. Now, that was extremely fucked up, because this is, we're talking about, $107 million, just insane amounts of money.
People lost their asses.
Absolutely. This is, this isn't just some, it's a meme coin, haha. This is some real...
again, crime season. Everything we're talking about is kind of a similar vibe. What people in the crypto world are calling liquidity sucks.
Yes.
where it is just people coming in, doing these competently orchestrated pump and dumps, and just walking away with an insane amount of money. And Javier, oddly enough, after he did the whole I deleted it, he fucking went back and like promoted it again like a day or two later.
God damn.
Yeah.
And yes, they're saying there's a suspicion of insider trading. This is CryptoPotato.com. Jesus Christ.
Everything hot. Well, I get it.
Everything hot
in crypto. Okay, like a hot
potato.
Okay.
All right.
A computer joke. I get it.
Yeah. It says Bubble Maps sharing evidence linking Libra's creators with those of the Melania token.
Yep.
According to the Nansen report, 2 wallets bought and sold the asset in 43 minutes, breaking in $5.4 million. The biggest beneficiary reportedly walked away $25 million. On-chain data suggests some of the earlier traders, likely experienced snipers or automated bots, managed to exit before crisis crashed, leaving retail investors, as usual, to suffer the most of the losses. 2,101 wallets turning a profit, 15,000 holding the motherfucking bag. Of its losers, the 15 worst performing addresses allegedly lost a combined $33.7 million, with the biggest realized loss coming from Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. That's right, folks.
Not the Presidente.
El Presidente. We just talked about him last week on Jail.
We'll be talking about him again.
Oh, yes, we will. Now, Crypto Potato. Some traders are continuing to buy and sell Libra. So, yes, as you said, he posted again, and so it went up again. Pushed it up 125%. But then, of course, it retraced all the gains. So, let's see here. There are 1,000 wallets still holding unrealized losses of about 11 million. And another 71 addresses are technically profitable, but their combined gains amounted to just $540,000 as of the 18th, which would be 5 days ago. So that's number one.
Wow.
Adam 22, no jumper, Mr. Cuckman himself.
Mr. Cuckman himself. He's used to people pumping and dumping his wife, and he decided to cuck his followers.
Now, I found this out via CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla, great crypto researcher. He's really big on like exposing scams and such. He has a second channel called Voidzilla, where it's just him in a black background. He doesn't have to do all the big intros. And in a 9-minute video, he ran down the full case. Now, have you seen this?
I did watch this, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a wonderful video. This was about 5 days ago. I just got paid to tweet, Adam22 says. I got nothing to do with it. So Adam22 released a coin called CUCKCoin. Is that right? That was the name of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's CUCKCoin.
CUCKCoin. So CoffeeZilla posting on Twitter the 5 stages of being Adam22. 1, be warned about a rug pull. 2, I don't care. I just got paid to do the tweet. I got nothing to do with it. 3, promote coin. 4, coin rug pulls. 5, what should I do differently next time? That's right. He put out CUCKCoin, the coin rug pulls. He's clearly known about it or maybe had some sort of insider information about it. But then posts on Twitter, I'm not happy with how my last meme coin drop went. What should I do differently next time? Who should I partner with to make sure I do it right this time? He's coming back for a second bite at the apple, folks.
Oh, yeah. I'm dry firing a 1911 in my head right now.
Just sitting on the couch, clicking it.
Just like I'm searching for something good on the TV.
Nothing's in there.
Yeah.
You're not in any danger.
You're not in any danger. You're just letting off some steam.
Yeah.
But what if?
But what if?
What if, folks?
Jesus Christ. But the essentials are that he
apparently took like a really minuscule amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like it wasn't even like he got 50K or something. It was, I'm sure people have paid more money to fuck your wife.
Hey-o. The official No Jumper account released this video of Adam claiming he got scammed.
God, I hate this guy's tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Now, he drops CoffeeZilla's name in that.
Yeah.
And based on the CoffeeZilla video that they were in contact with each other.
Yeah. These guys have had dialogue
Right.
for a minute.
Saying, don't do it.
So,
Don't do it.
so if he was really about his morals here, he maybe should have asked his buddy CoffeeZilla, like, hey, what do you think of this? And CoffeeZilla probably would have told him, don't fucking do it, man. It's going to fucking run your reputation through the fucking ringer.
He told him. As soon as the post went up, CoffeeZilla messaged him on Twitter and said, look, dude, this sucks and you don't want any part of this. Yeah. What? No, man. It denied it all the way up and down. Yeah, these guys want to snipe your coin, CoffeeZilla says. These guys want to snipe your coin. It's going to happen. Nah. I just got money to do the tweet. It's fine. Well, at the very least, he's not Bybit.
Yeah.
Here's another fun one, courtesy, again, Molly White. Web3 is going great. Over 1.4 billion with a B taken from Bybit crypto exchange.
Quite possibly the biggest black hat theft in commerce ever. The details that someone was able to kind of just put together in a bullet point of like how this scam went down, how this theft went down, is insane. Impersonating people, social engineering, sound like lots of little confidence games. A lot of probably like spooking someone's credentials, talking to another person. Apparently they knew all who the multi-sig holders were.
Oh.
This just wasn't like doing like a liquidity swap.
Yeah.
And getting the machine to accidentally give you an extra gumball.
This is not taking, you're putting a malicious link somewhere and having someone click to it.
This is hard fucking work.
Layered. Yeah.
This is dedication. And holy shit, that's a lot of money. And most likely it was North Korea. And Lazarus, the exact XBT is already assumed or given information that implies that it was Lazarus group. Apparently a particular North Korean individual, or national, I should say. There's a guy, there's a name, there's shit out there. It goes deep.
Yeah, so this, according to Ben Zhao, co-founder and CEO of Bybit, on Twitter, Bybit ETH multisig cold wallet just made a transfer to our warm wallet about an hour ago. It appears this specific transaction was musked, a payload being obfuscated or spoofed, where the user interface displayed misleading information. Okay, so much like you would for a malicious link that goes elsewhere.
Gotcha.
Right? The signers saw the musked UI had showed the correct address, and the URL was from @safe. However, the signing message was to change the smart contract logic of the cold wallet. This resulted in the hacker taking control of the cold wallet we signed and transferred all ETH in the cold wallet to this unspecified address. Hey, all withdrawals are normal. It's just this one wallet that's affected. Bybit is solvent even if this hack loss is not recovered. All of clients' assets are one-to-one backed. We can cover the loss. $1.5 billion?
It's possible.
Possible, but not likely is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what Bybit has been doing to help make people affected whole again is they've been market buying Ethereum. And they've bought, I think last time I checked, like around 300 million. Funny thing to show you, like, because Ethereum's like what, top 5 market cap. $300 million in buys on Ethereum only moves the price about 3%.
Woo.
Yeah. One of the things that did crack up a lot of people was that the hacker pretty quickly started transferring the stolen goods over to Solana. You know, because Solana is the fucking crypto casino right now, and it's like, all right, buy some shit coins.
Yep, let's go.
I mean, that would be the way to do it. Hack a fucking crypto exchange for $1.5 billion or whatever, and then go piss it away on, inward butt coin.
Yeah, dog with hat. Yeah, whatever it is. So, and that's not even the most ridiculous crypto story this week.
God,
it's all insane.
We're not even going to talk about David Portnoy doing his multiple pump and dumps.
I think this next article touches on it briefly.
Okay.
Kanye West. We talked about him last week with the...
Remember we used to say, Brian, we can't be talking about Kanye no more?
I also said I wasn't going to talk about Elon Musk anymore either, so look where we are.
But the fate has forced our hands.
Exactly. It's just fucking insane. CryptoBriefing.com gives us this. Kanye West plans SwastiCoin, eyes blockchain launch, and claims, quote, only broke boys rug pull. Kanye West posted a series of crypto tweets on Saturday night. This was a couple nights ago. After sharing a tweet from CZ, in which CZ stated that DEX is challenging to use. He also followed a CZ's Twitter account, only to unfollow it shortly thereafter. So here's the at Kanye West. I'm putting my SwastiCoin on a DEX because it's decentralized. And so crypto community folks flooded his mentions with recommendations. Ethereum, Solana, BNB. Ye, seemingly confused, turned to his followers for advice. And the latest option was Hyperliquid. Is it, what? Wait, what's BNB? Wait, what's Solana? Wait, what's ETH? He then shifted to posts containing offensive language, targeting various groups, and seeking direct contact with CZ. In one post, he referenced SwastiCoin, claiming those opposed to his Nazi posts were requesting his contact address, CA. People who didn't like the Nazi posts hitting me up for the CA on my SwastiCoin. Wait, what's a CA? He also declared his intention to launch his own blockchain amid a series of tweets, including a now-deleted post that claimed, quote, only broke boys rug pull. Some tweets were directed at Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy, who launched multiple pump and dump coins over the last week, Greed and Greed 2.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a third one that he was teasing. It's fucking insane, man. Like, the fucking crime season is here. Man, we don't even have time to go into it.
I know. Yeah, 4 days ago. Yep, Greed, and then Greed 2. You're right. Oh, and so yeah, Ye, after unfollowing CZ, now follows only Portnoy and Polychain founder Olaf Carson Wee. Olaf pulling up, he says.
It's insane. It's so fucking insane.
Now, according to a community note, Kanye West may have sold access to his account to @BarkMeta. This says the account he follows @tall_data is Bark's alt account. Kind of reference the fact that there are screenshots that either go between dark and light mode, time format changes, and then the community note ends with, this will be a major liquidity extraction event. I was doing LinkedIn thoughts posting. Thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be a shit show. But there's already been a couple celebrities that have tried doing their own fucking meme coin and just barely any interest.
They ate shit, really?
They eat shit. I don't know if there's probably an insider too that made an okay amount of money for the trouble, but we're not seeing like what Portnoy did or what M22 did or anything like that. Or anything with Trump coin or Melania.
Mm-hmm. Well, even those didn't do numbers like any of this stuff might. You know, we're still, as insane as Kanye is, he still has a lot of weird fans online, and I think they might move more than any of those.
That's entirely possible. I think it's going to be a liquidity extraction event. I think a lot of people are going to get fucking burnt and get ruined on this shit because they don't understand that the people that are setting up this game, they're making the rules, unfortunately, if not smarter, are much more nefarious than they are. Everything's weighed against retail. This isn't going to be like buying SHIB during the Super Bowl in 2021,
right? And
sitting on it for 7 or 8 months, and all of a sudden it's worth millions of dollars. It's not going to do that. This stuff. One thing I'm seeing a lot of crypto traders or crypto Twitter people comment is that what makes this different than a lot of different cycles is that nothing has any longevity.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes.
I mean,
I'm being facetious, but you know what I'm saying. It's not very long.
Every chart looks the same. You have depending on your time frame, you have 5 or 6 candles going up, and then big retraction almost immediately. It's like a sharp peak, and then you have your dead cat bounce, and then 95% down from all-time high. Yeah. And that's, I forget who did it, but someone went through and looked at all the graphs of all the tickers of all the meme coins that have been announced and hyped up over the last 6 or so months, and all the charts almost look the same. And you go look at some meme tokens from last cycle, like Feg or Shib or Flocky, and they had some sharp peaks and valleys, sure, and there were times where they were 95% down, but like they kept going. They weren't ever dead. But this shit just fucking crashes and burns. There's no project, because it's just a fucking, it's degenerate casino shit. There's no thought, there's no idea behind it. Right. There's nothing more other than like basically titty fart.
Yep.
There's no even real artifice.
It doesn't even seem like it's any fun, despite the name being Pump.Fun. It doesn't seem like it's any good times being had, at least. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing, there's no joy there.
They call it being in the trenches.
Yeah.
And the trenches are pretty fucking miserable.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who I think are sincere about their enthusiasm for crypto as a means of commerce and information exchange, who are, I would say, call them crestfallen. That this thing that they thought from a technical standpoint had some value or some potential, and all we need to do is we just need to feel it out.
Right.
And someone's going to have the right idea in the next level. You know,
there's going to be the
iron sharpens iron kind of shit. But if we start to look at things outside of the technical aspects of blockchain or crypto or Web 3.0 or whatever, and this has been pretty much true about the internet since the mid-90s, is that once capitalism finds a way to replicate the ills of the physical world on the internet, it will do so. So why shouldn't we expect crypto all of a sudden become like a fucking payday loan or casino predatory? Yeah, whatever academic or technical aspects of crypto we could have gleaned out of the last 10 or so years has mostly been ruined or obfuscated by self-interested individuals.
Yeah, that ship has sailed, essentially.
Generally, yeah. I think you might see some of this technology and some of these concepts retrofitted or repurposed for different things in the future. But I don't think crypto as it is right now, blockchain technology as it is right now, I think it's kind of at a dead end, because the deepest our imagination can get with this technology is just replicating predatory, abusive things that already exist in the real world.
Yeah.
But now you can instead of scamming a guy that lives in your neighborhood or lives in your community, you can now scam someone that lives in Ghana or Singapore or some shit. Real happy times.
Well, Dave Portnoy did get the last word on this. Here is his at Stool Presidente. There is a 0.0 shot Heil Kanye is running his account. It's the scammers planning the rug. But if you can send at Kanye West a message, tell him me and Taylor said to go fuck himself.
I fucking hate Dave Portnoy, but every once in a while he does slip out a banger.
Blind pig, acorns, etc. Yeah, and one last scam bit of related business to leave us with before we get into the enjoyable portion of the show. Bloomberg reporting this. Jonathan Randall's writing, FTX user accidentally deposited 2,000 tokens years after the collapse. Lucas Bartasek, 31, said he inadvertently transferred 2,000 tokens to an old FTX account in October 2023, nearly a year after Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF's exchange, went bankrupt, according to a Monday filing in Delaware Bankruptcy Court. After realizing his mistake, Bartasek said he was informed he'd need a court order to allow a withdrawal from the account. Prices for Solana, a token once backed by Bankman-Fried, have increased significantly since Bartasek deposited the tokens with FTX amid a broader rise in cryptocurrency values. The price of one Solana token was $31 at the time of deposit. But it was trading at $198 on Tuesday. The tokens were worth $63,000 at the time of the deposit, would now be worth more than $396,000.
Yep.
The filing said FTX, quote, knowingly and willingly accepted the deposit. And he made a withdrawal request through a crypto wallet account at a different exchange, BTSE. He then inadvertently deposited into an old FTX account. A spokesman for FTX, of course, declined to comment.
Yeah, so
Because why would you?
So this isn't the first time I've heard something like this happening.
Right.
I hope this guy gets his money.
For sure.
However, the caveat should be that he be legally recognized as a dipshit.
Yes.
Like you're gonna have to feel a little bit of pain.
Some real
I think
scarlet
he should
letter
be-
shit.
I sympathize with him. He should be made whole.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to feel the burn a little, boy.
I feel like there should be a forehead tattoo that comes with this that just says "I'm a dipshit" that you have to get after this.
Coomer. Legally by the state of New Hampshire, you have to get the word coomer.
Recognized as a coomer, yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, we've had a lot of fun today, but I think it's time to watch something gross, Brian.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
Flamethrower Dick, Brian, is what this one's called.
Oh boy.
It was posted on 4chan just a couple hours ago.
Fresh off the press.
Fresh off the presses. I don't know where this came from. All I saw, I found it in a random 4chan thread, and it was originally hosted on Chaotic, Kaotic, but someone posted it here. I was not able to find it on Chaotic, so this must have been removed, but
I guess we'll find out why.
the file name originally was ha_flamethrowerddick.webm. So it opens with what appears to be someone putting lighter fluid in their urethra. Taking a lighter out. I thought this was going to be gore, right? I thought this was going to be like, oh my God, this guy explodes his dick or whatever. But however he does it, you can hear it. He's like expelling the gas through the tip of his penis. I guess like the urge to pee happens and then you like push out the...
You're filling up your balls where the pee is stored.
Where the pee is stored, yes, of course. As we all know, scientifically, that's true. But yeah, just it's surreal because like, is this real? But you watch him fill it up.
And he really puts that nozzle in there too.
It really does, right in the right.
What's
You
that
hear
sound though?
That's the gas escaping from the tip of his dick. Is the little fart noise is. And look, uninjured at the end, which I'd love to see. I'd love to see one of these ones where it's like, oh my God, that's weird, but also nobody got hurt.
This isn't the guy rock climbing without a harness.
Ooh. Or the guy pulling the screwdriver out by the wrong end. Yes, it's...
You know, in my previous job, I had a coworker who was interested in all things obscene. And he brought up one man, one jar once.
Yeah.
And I explained, he has other videos. And he was like, really? I was like, yes, there was one where he pulls a screwdriver out of his urethra. And he's like, really? I'm like, by the wrong end. And he's just like, wow.
Now, was this a good wow or was this a
No,
bad?
like, I'm fairly certain, like, when he went to his car on break, he was Googling it.
I loved that guy's TikToks, by the way. He would just show up. People would post something at him, and then he would just show up, and then you'd see him place the towel down. He'd take his shoes off so you could see his tattoo so you knew it was him, and then set a jar down, and then the video would end. Just be like, this is a threat, actually.
Amazing.
With a sense of humor. That's what I think is if you're going to be...
Listen, if your ass is so tight that it breaks a tempered jar.
Well, yes and no. I mean, again...
Again, I wouldn't fuck with that. If that's what he can do, is that what his ass can do to a glass jar? Imagine what he could do to your dick.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Twist that shit off, throw it in the fucking tall grass, never to be seen again.
The Rain and Bybit style. Yeah. The dogs will have to come find your dick. Yeah.
The dogs will have to come find your cock. The special dog sniffing, the cock sniffing dogs.
Now you know that he got his dick reattached, John Wayne Bobbitt.
Oh yeah, and he did porn.
He did porno.
A very impressive
Frankenpenis.
cock, apparently, even before that.
Yeah, Frankenpenis though, probably an all-timer just for the name of the porno, not necessarily for the contents, but for the name alone. Frankenpenis. That was his first adult film among many. I think he did like 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, because he did Frankenpenis. He did a sequel to Frankenpenis, and then he did some other thing. He didn't last in the biz, though. I don't think he was welcomed as, despite the biz of porno being full of pieces of shit.
Right.
Somehow, John Wayne Bobbitt was a step too far. Nacho Vidal, fine. John Wayne Bobbitt, not so much.
I think probably the issue is more of what he brought to the table more than the content of his character.
That's fair. Because it was like, yeah, you got a weird looking dick. Now what?
Yeah, come on. There's lots of porn like that, and they didn't have to, abuse their wife to get there.
Again, a lot of people in the industry abuse their wives. So
yeah,
again,
I have friends that
yeah, former or
current, and I've heard some crazy ass stories. Some really tough people out there.
I mean, the only one that came out of it relatively sane is Nina Hartley.
Yeah,
with that time period at least.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyways,
sorry. Let's talk about some more happy things, Brian. Let's take our minds off the flamethrower dicks and the abusive people and all that stuff. Let's do a breath mint.
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
Well, Brian, a movie you recommended to me last week that I should see. I took your advice and I did the thing and I watched Heretic. Now, I am probably going to spoil a lot of Heretic, so just be mindful of that. If you have interest in seeing this movie, 3 to 5 minutes from now, go ahead and skip that. But I fucking loved Heretic. Thank you. I probably would have kept that in my queue and not seen it. So I will give you the kudos and the props. Thank you. Heretic is a lot of fun. It's a fun movie.
Oh, I have fucking blast.
Is it, an award winner? Maybe not. Is it going to get, the Palme d'Or? No, but it's a hoot and a half.
Is it a fun little indie film that scratches a weird itch and is trying to do something different, a la storytelling or something like that?
Yes, absolutely it is. Hugh Grant is my dog. I love him. I love his new era that he's in.
He's phenomenal. Just
doing whatever. He's in his Willem Dafoe era. He's just whatever. Okay, yeah, sure. You want me to play the mod on our atheism? Sure, let's do it. So, if those of you not familiar, the movie takes place in essentially the confines of this one man's home. Again, played by Hugh Grant. He takes in these 2 Mormon missionaries and proceeds to put them through a series of psychological tests / debates, I guess.
Kind of almost like trials.
Yeah. Trials is a great way to put that. I haven't thought about that. But yeah, he's testing their faith, as it were. And not in the way of like a horror movie guy. Because originally when I saw the trailer, it made me think, oh, this is like Saw for Mormons. It was not that, thankfully. Not a lot of gore. There is some. But I was surprised at how restrained a big chunk of the movie was. It was very formalist. It's a lot of natural lighting. It's a lot of these creeping dread. It's mostly about sounds that you can either hear or not hear coming from off screen. It's about how the characters lie to each other in the various different ways. It's about faith. The whole movie's about faith, which appropriately enough, given that there's the Mormon protagonist, ostensibly protagonist, in this movie. I love when he made them choose between belief and disbelief, and immediately I clocked it. I was like, okay, that's going to go to the same place.
Yeah.
Because everyone dies in the end, yada, yada. Like, whether you believe it or not, you still end up in the ground. And bing, just like I said. But at the same time, the movie went there, and I expected something different. I expected the movie wouldn't go there, and it did, and I was like, cool. This movie's on my level. It's on my wavelength. I'm kind of interested in this. I enjoyed it. So good. See it if you can. Heretic. I believe HBO Max is the place for that.
I believe so, yes. I had quite a bit of fun with Heretic.
What did you think of Topher Grace?
I think it's pretty good.
Such a nothing role. He might as well not have been in it. It's so odd.
Like in Abigail, the guy that plays Adrian in Watchmen is in it for all of 2 minutes, and it's like, this is the biggest role he's probably had since Watchmen.
Which is it's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, but Abigail's, have you seen that yet?
I have not.
God,
that's on
man,
my list.
You gotta get on the fucking trolley, brother.
See, I wanted to avoid that same thing happening with Abigail, so I was like, you know what? He said watch Heretic. I'm going to watch Heretic. So I will.
Abigail is a same level of, it's just a fucking pleasure.
Okay, it's a
Front
thrill
to back.
ride.
It is as smart as it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Heretic benefits from being actually also a little dumb.
Oh yeah,
but also not lacking insight or anything like that.
It's dumb as hell. I saw that candle thing coming a mile away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's not, it thinks it's clever, but it's still, at the same time, it's a ride, and it's a fun ride.
Yeah.
So, worth your time. 5 bags. Brian, you said you saw
Conclave.
The
Yeah.
vaping priest movie.
The vaping priest movie.
That's all I've heard about it, is that Ray Fiennes is in it, and it's the vaping priest movie. That's it. I've read Letterboxd reviews, and half of them are like, I'm the vaping priest, baby. So, tell me
I
about...
forgot that he vapes.
Tell me about Conclave.
It is a movie where it's a bunch of cardinals and priests in the Vatican, and the Pope dies.
Okay. Which I think we might be getting a real-life version of that anytime soon.
They're actually flying me out red-eyed to the Vatican.
Oh, you got to go then. We got to wrap this
after
up.
I'm done with this, it's midnight to Rome, and they want me to show His Excellency my tech deck tricks.
Oh, okay.
He very much wanted to see them.
Before he
So,
passed, yeah.
It's an
definitely.
honor.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure
For sure.
for the woke Pope.
The woke Pope, that's right.
Anyways,
Conclave.
Pope
the Pope
dies,
yeah.
and the Dean, which I believe that is Ray Fiennes.
That is Ray Fiennes, yes.
The Dean Cardinal has to oversee the process of electing a new Pope.
Okay.
And he is kind of over it. He's over it as far as his faith is concerned. He just wants to be like a simple guy in a monastery. He's over this big time shit, which is relatable. Like who all of a sudden doesn't realize they're in a situation like, I like a simpler life.
Yeah, I don't need this.
But
I don't need all this.
But and a couple individuals as well in the conclave are kind of going through it, not because they want to be Pope, but because they had such respect for the ultimate father,
His Eminence, the Holy Father, etc. Yeah.
I didn't grow up Catholic, so if my terminology seems stilted, it's because it doesn't roll off the tongue naturally for me.
That's all
I
right.
grew up Southern Baptist. Our guilt came chicken fried steak style.
Exactly.
So we didn't need none of the fancy finery. It's just you're a shithead.
Yeah.
And you're bad. Give us money.
Yeah, which I mean is not that far off from the other stuff either.
Yeah, but you
so.
guys have like fucking relics and stuff. Like there's like cool shit. Like we just have like wood paneled rooms where we cry.
Fair enough. Yeah, I do like the whole Bones of the Saints thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
the bone, this is Saint Thomas Aquinas' index finger. Like, oh, cool. What the
St.
fuck?
Thomas Aquinas was kind of baller.
No, Aquinas is my dog. Don't get it twisted. I love him, but
There was a couple Christian radicals back in the day. They got to get real weird with it, bounce on it silly style, if you were. That have a really interesting. I mean, I may not necessarily agree with their thoughts and their their essays and all that.
Sure.
But I appreciate that they were allowed to have such interesting and expanded thought.
To do it freak nasty style, yeah.
Do a freak nasty style on the theology.
Freak her ass out, Tom.
Freak her ass out, Thomas. Basically, Ray Fiennes' character is having to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, he's over it.
And there is a cardinal that him and some of his cohorts feels should be the next pope.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit progressive. He's considered to be of the liberal side of things.
All right.
And spoken of by other cardinals as a derogatory. Liberal is definitely a slur.
Yeah.
And so there's, the conclave is being put together, and there are cardinals and other clergy from other parts of the world, and you start seeing different factions, different views of Catholicism and faith. And basically Ray Fiennes' character sees that, like, this is a twisted power grab for some people, and for some people it's reluctance to be seen as a viable nominee for the papal office.
Yeah.
And there are a couple individuals that they don't fucking want it. They like, please don't fucking vote for me. But the other cardinals are kind of like, well, the reason you don't want it is the reason you should have it. If your reluctance for power,
Lisa Al-Gaib style, yeah.
yeah, you're not greedy.
Yeah.
If you are reluctant to have it, then you're less likely to abuse it. Whereas this other cardinal seems like he'd be a real rat fucker if he became pope. So basically, it's like, well, we got to figure out how this guy cannot become pope.
So palace intrigue, in a different context, yeah.
And I would say that if it weren't for the strength of the performances, it would be a much harder movie to watch. I enjoyed it,
yeah,
but it is by the virtue of the acting and performances within that the movie stands, and it stands tall. Oh, I forgot Stanley Tucci's in this motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a who's who, man. Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. Woo.
Just a lot of great. Some people that like, oh, I know their face, I know their voice, but I forget what I've seen them in.
That guy. Actors.
That guy.
Yeah.
It's incredibly well shot. It has a nice, slow but metered pace. It gives you time to ruminate about this power grab and what it means to be kind of like a good person of faith. Because some of the stuff we find out about some of these cardinals is pretty shitty. Some of these cardinals, there's one cardinal in particular, you find out his indecencies from when he was a younger man. Does seem sincerely repentant and ashamed. You would say perhaps has already, before this has come to light, has probably taken the sting of his punishment for many years for his actions. This is just the tail end of it.
No, this is all fictional. Right.
Correct.
This is not based on any real conclave that actually happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray Fiennes' character tells this cardinal, like, you are a good person. God forgives you, or, as long as you forgive yourself, but you will never be pope. And that devastates the cardinal. It's good. It's worth watching. It's a little Oscar baity, but again, the palace intrigue. There's some really strong performances. There's some really beautiful aesthetic stuff going on because it's Catholics.
Yeah, I'll give them one thing: the outfits, spectacular.
Excellent. They know how to dress. Just if you like acting, if you like theater, if you like movie as an art form, it is a fun movie to watch because you just see people.
It's a character piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see people really disappearing into their roles, and it's believable. It's worth watching. I feel like if it didn't have the cast, it would be fucking Sky TV bullshit. But
You're not wrong. It does feel like a 3-part miniseries.
yeah, Doyle's fucking war ass fucking.
But I'm reminded of a 2018 movie, The Two Popes. Now, this was based on what really happened after John Paul II passed away. And so that was another one where it's like it's just some fantastic actors, Jonathan Pryce, Anthony Hopkins. And that one was produced by Netflix, so they may still have it on their site. I don't know. So that's what made me think. I was like, oh, yeah, there was this other Pope-related movie, but that was based on a true story. But I'm hyped. I want to see Conclave now. Now that you've broken that down for me, that to me, it's
super fucking
skyrocketed
fun.
up the list. Yeah,
It's
for
super
sure.
like it's. I think it does ask some sincere questions about what does it mean to be a good person and can we forgive each other and things like that. But it's also the seriousness of you're picking the head of your faith.
Yeah, that's a pretty important question.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I was raised Southern Baptist, so all this Catholicism shit that seems like weird fairy tale stuff.
Which is great. You look at it like a fantasy movie. You know?
Yeah, we're the hobbits.
That's the altar boys. But
So I heard you also are addicted to a game.
I'm also addicted to 2 games right now. The number one is it lives on my phone against all reason and better judgment. I did purchase Balatro, and I understand now. I get why people have lost hours to this game. For those of you not familiar, we talked about it previously, but it is a poker deck builder roguelike. And granted, the decks are built for you, but the principle of the thing is the same. As you go through the game, you get additional cards and bonuses and whatnots and multipliers and all that stuff.
Jokers.
Oh, the Jokers. I love the Jokers, baby. I have a soft spot for a couple of them. It's the one that repeats multipliers based on the number of times you played a particular hand. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, 2 pair, that's my hand. So I'm always going to get
You gotta
that.
branch out, man. Those 2 pairs.
I know.
2 pairs normie shit, man. You gotta get into those straights and those full houses, brother.
Straights are so fucking hard to come by. But principle of the thing is you will start talking like this once you start playing Balatro. I did, for some reason, I had some coupon on Google Play Store, so it was like, oh, it's like supposed to be $10, but it's going to be $6. I'm like, great, cool. Let's do it. And I definitely have already gotten my money's worth. And I'm
absolutely.
still in the intermission. I saw a stage play today. I'll talk about it in the next episode. I was like, cool. I have Balatro time now. The last couple meetings I was in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
I went to a hockey game last night, and I was really fucking tempted to just break out Balatro, so M would say something like, "Really, you're gonna do that here?" But like, I have like broke it out, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this is gonna be a problem. For
Yeah, I know. And then the other game I'm addicted to is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which we also share that in common. I know you're playing the Steam version.
Yeah.
Now, I'm playing the PS5 version. The only real difference is that the controller speaker will chirp at me with the chocobo noises. Boy, I didn't think I would get into it.
I kind of hate it,
Really?
but I want to hear what you have to say.
I didn't think I'd get into it. I'm having the same kind of open world, there's a lot of shit to do kind of thing that I did with Spider-Man 2. It's a little bit of like, okay, Chadley, I gotta go do a million fucking Ubisoft towers. Okay, fine. Side quests that you unlock and some of the neat stuff that's all character stuff. I appreciate that they wove that into it so that the side quest stuff doesn't feel like it's just there to check a box.
Right.
Because when you go and do some of these side quests in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, sometimes you'll get a unique dialogue, or sometimes you'll get kind of a neat little character moment. You're like, okay, well, I'm being rewarded for exploring a bit, or kind of, because the way the game is structured, you start with the flashback to Nibelheim, and then you go to Calm, and then you go, you're exploring all the areas around Calm, and then you go through the Mithril Mines, and then you go to Junon. So I'm in the Junon section now. And if you go straight down the critical path, you'll skip a lot of stuff in Junon. And you can do that, apparently, according to a lot of things I've read. Like, yeah, you can just go straight critical path but all the side stuff in Junon, the crow's nest, and you got to chase the dog around, and there's special music when you're chasing the dog around. There's like woof 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 or bow wow wow. Every little bit of extra music, every little bit of extra. They remix the Chocobo theme based on the region you're in. It's just little touches. It's definitely probably going to wear on me. Again, I'm 12 hours into this game, and I haven't left the third area. It is going to be a long game. At the same time, I'm enjoying it because there is a huge variety of things to do. Now, granted, a lot of these things to do are repetitive. Go here, climb a tower, hit a button, do a thing. But things like in Junon, there's a section of this gameplay area where exposure to Mako radiation turns you into a frog. And then you have to play a Fall Guys type of minigame where you're a frog avoiding rotating blades on a panel. And you're jumping around, and it's time to... Okay, that's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. Queen's Blood, the card game. I'm getting deep into Queen's Blood now. It's just like Gwent, in The Witcher 3, or it's just like... I can't remember what the name of the card game was in Final Fantasy VIII, but it's an engaging side activity. But it can take over your brain. At the same time, yes, the critical path is kind of boring. What has your experience been like? Because I'm curious.
I felt like getting out of Nibelheim was a fucking slog, even though I think there's some really good stuff in there, narratively speaking. I felt like the part in Calm was weird. Like, I don't know what's going on narratively. Like, it all feels really fucking weird. I just got done with the Chocobo farm.
Oh,
and
first
so
one.
Just started the shit with Chadley, and I haven't had the opportunity to pick it back up for a minute. But I'm just kind of like, it's gonna me do the Ubisoft shit, and that's fine. Like, and I don't mind doing the combat stuff because, like, I think the combat's actually pretty fun in the game. It's one of my favorite. I actually like the combat.
I'm getting back into it. It took me a while.
Yeah, but it just doesn't so far have like the polish that Remake had.
I can definitely see that just from a storytelling standpoint. But I think once you get to Junon, once you meet Yuffie, and we start getting more of the anti-Shinra action going, I think it picks up, which is, again, 10 hours into the game if you're doing all the side shit. So
and
it's a hard recommend.
It's not like a boring 10 hours. I'm just trying to figure out, like, where's this fucking going?
Well, I mean, it's following a lot of the story beats of the original from my vague recollection.
Sure. It feels pretty consistent.
There's a lot of silly stuff. But like the Yakuza games, it's aware that it's silly.
Sure.
And that helps a little.
There's stuff that happens in the beginning, like with Zack, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I've been told by someone that, like, it will make sense and you will hate it because it's all of the Kingdom Hearts ass shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, I hate Kingdom Hearts with a passion. I've hated it since I was 15.
Yeah, never played it beyond the first one and never really felt like there was anything there.
To me, it's just like, it just seems like really contrite fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to read really contrite fan fiction, I can go read Fallout Esquiteria, or whatever it's fucking called.
Anything on AO3, really.
Yeah, it's just, I don't have any fucking time for that. But I'm going to give it some more time. Just been busy with other things, but so far I'm kind of, I loved pretty much every part of Remake front to back. I had so much fun with that. That just really tickled the nostalgia in a way that didn't feel weird or problematic or cheap. It's like, hey, it's everything you remember, but it's all better. And it feels right. Even though there was some Kingdom Hearts ass shit going on, like, it didn't annoy me that much. it still was fun. It was cool to see these spaces and these characters a little bit more fleshed out, like, you know, like Wedge, Biggs, and Jesse.
Jesse, yeah.
Yeah, and like Jesse's such a great character in that game, and getting the guy from Breaking Bad to voice Wedge.
Yeah, not Jesse, but Wedge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, give Rebirth a little bit more time. I think once you get to Junon, it does start to open up a bit. Personally, again, this is my experience, so who knows if it's going to be the same.
I'll give it a shot.
Because I was definitely like coming into Nibelheim, like, oh, this is going to be painful.
Oddly enough, I don't think I like it as much as I did in Nibelheim in the original game.
No, yeah.
Which is a weird thing, because the game is 20-something years old.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, one last thing before we close it out. I did rewatch Late Night with the Devil the other night, and I think on second viewing, I really liked that movie a lot more. I still think like the AI shit sucks. I still think everything from when, again, these are big spoilers here.
Yeah.
When Lily kills everyone, I think the movie fucking falls apart. I think it jumps the shark. It's really unfortunate because I think everything up to that moment is still super fun and captivating, and it's got like the right tone, but it feels like it's really quick to wrap everything up.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely like notes. Like somebody came in and was like, we don't understand the ending. Shoot some stuff to clarify.
Yeah, and some of that, I think that clarification, that lore dump at the very end.
Yeah.
Some of it's okay and some of it isn't, but I think it hurts the movie more than it helps. But man, everything up until that point is so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff with Carmichael, the stuff with Lily, the characterization, the rhythm of it.
Yeah, when they break for commercial and it cuts to the 16 mil footage, it feels a piece. Even though it's clearly, you know, we're different formats, you know, we're different ratios, it's still, it has this weird continuity. Like you're watching an unbroken series of events.
Yeah.
Happening not necessarily in real time, but close enough. And that makes it more palpable, I guess. It has this sense of like, this is a thing that actually happened. Granted, you know that it's not true.
There's a sense of believability.
Yeah, you're drawn in. And I think that works to the film's credit.
And there's some great performances and some good special effects, and the tone is really good for most of that movie, of like being very much like this late 70s schlock of Late Night.
Oh, it has that look too. Boy, they really nailed a lot of those things with costume and color and
the humor, some of the jokes. I mean,
the jokes too.
It's a fun movie. And I showed it to Em, and she's not a big movie or horror person like I am. So, you know, she was like, "What did you think?" I'm like, "I already seen it, but I like it more on the second screening." She's like, "Oh," and I think she kind of also felt like it fell apart in the same spot. But
it's the kind of movie you do want to share with someone, though. So I think that's the appropriate way. Yeah. That would have been the one that we picked up from the local video store on VHS and been like, "Oh my god, you seen this shit?" Yeah,
it's, you know. There's other movies out there that I would in theory like to share with people. Like I saw the TV Glow, but that movie's that one's got a lot to chew on.
Lynchian is the last thing I heard to describe it, and boys like, oh yeah, Schoenbraun, yeah, she's up there with the more like who are the modern Lynchian directors? Like, yeah, going to the World's Fair and that.
I still haven't seen Going to the World's Fair, but I've heard it's worth watching.
If you got the HBO Max, it's on there.
All right. I'll have to take a little looky-loo.
I guess that means it's time for us to tell you where to find us on the old interweb. Brian.
If you want to stalk me on the internet, you can find me on Twitter at iShotGuidibord, ISHOTGUIDBORD. You can find me on Instagram and other places as a music photographer. If you want to check out my photography portfolio, it's over at assholemusicphotographer.com. And if you want to check out the last and only good media website left in St. Louis, you can head on over to theartsstl.com, little quiet right now. It's a little kind of quiet part of the year for that sort of trade, but it's picking up. Next couple months, I think are going to be pretty wild, so I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all I got, Jason. Where can they tell you that you're gay?
If I snap my fingers, you will forget you were ever gay. You can do that at Video Crime. Chances are, if there's a website where there's a video crime, that's going to be me. Most likely these days, I'm hanging out at Blue Sky and Letterboxd. Letterboxd, of course, talk about movies. And Blue Sky, the social media network of the future. You can find me on another podcast that's not this one, where I play the fictionalized version of Stephen King. That's right, it's submitted for the approval of the Midnight Pals. We're on a bit of a break this week, but we are doing a Q&A episode. It's kind of fun because I get to answer questions both as myself and in character as Stephen King. That is midnight-pals.simplecast.com. Our last episode, I believe, was the mini episode with the talented Mr. Ripley. Real fun. Good times to be had there. A lot of people ask us how they can get in contact with us. Well, my personal favorite is the telephone. That's 314-246-9766. That's 314-AHOY-POO, if you like to spell with your telephone. You can shoot us an email, jason@8minutesofdogsbarking.com, or Brian with a Y @8minutesofdogsbarking.com. You can also support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. There, we do a number of weird little things, like our post-show hangout called Thanks I Hate It, freaky stuff under the Mind Zone, and our punishment tier. If you get yourself in at the $10 level, you can get yourself not only a copy of something we've already done, which is the 90-minute commentary track on the Japanese puke fetish video Garo Monster Home Delivery, but also to choose how to punish us this year. We have not settled on anything as of yet, but we'll see how the day goes. Well, that tells me that it's about that time. As we always say, namaste, good luck, give mommy a good gut fucking, eat the knife, and hey, who ate all the pussy? Spoiler alert, it was Elon Musk.
That seems highly improbable.
Who ate all the pussy? Wait,
That's Kissinger?
Yeah.
Who ate all the pussy? Who ate all the pussy? I don't know, Jew boy.
There's no pussy eating here. This is the war room.